Okay, let's start. Last class I just completed what I completed the Bohr's theory, the radius, how to calculate, how to identify the Bohr's radius, and how to identify the velocity of electron in a particular cell or particular orbit. Today I will discuss about the what is the time period of electron in the nth Bohr orbit. Time period of electron, frequency, then energy. These three parts. Today I will explain. Time period of electron in the nth Bohr orbit. Nth Bohr orbit. For time period of electron for nth Bohr orbit, how can you calculate? Suppose this one is a nucleus, and around the nucleus basically electron is revolving. Electron is basically revolving. So can I say time taken by electron to complete one revolution around the nucleus? Time taken by electron to complete one revolution. To complete one revolution. One revolution around nucleus. Okay. Now look, can I write time taken equals to distance covered? Time equals to, we can write distance covered by velocity. Distance covered by velocity. Now look, distance covered, I am taking this electron revolves around the nucleus with a circular path. So this distance covered is basically the circumference. What is the circumference formula? 2 pi r, where r is a radius and v represent the velocity. Now we all know the value of r. What is the value of r? Suppose I am taking t equals to 2 into pi value is 3.14, and r, formula of r equals to 0.529 n square by z divided by, what is the velocity? Velocity last class I already discussed, 2.188 into 10 to the power 6 z by n. Now this part is constant for all. So can I write t proportional to n square by z divided by z by n? So t proportional, t belongs to actually n cube by z square. Is it clear? Now if you calculate this value, the t becomes 1.52 into 10 to the power minus 6 n cube by z square. Now this is not required, only this formula is required for math. Only this formula is required for math. Okay. Now suppose I am taking two electron. One is revolving actually cell number n1. This is for one electron revolving cell number n1, but the atomic number is taking z1. For another electron, and time taken is I am taking t1. Another electron, for another electron cell number I am taking n2. Z2 is the atomic number of that particular atom. Another electron means atom 1. Here I am taking atom 2. That is the atomic number of atom 2, and time taken I am taking t2. So if you compare about t1, t2, this becomes n1q by n2q into z2 square by z1 square. Any doubt regarding these two formula? Do you have any doubt regarding these two formula? Okay,
No, sir.
just write it down. I'll give you one question. Question number 1. Calculate T1 is to T2. for lithium 2 plus ion per cell number, n value, n represents the shell number, is 3, and beryllium 3 plus ion per shell number is 2. Calculate T1 and T2 quickly, solve it.
Sir, I think the answer is 3 is to 2.
3 is to 2. Okay, just check. So T1 by T2. What is the N1 value? N1 value is 3 cube. N2 value is 2 cube. What is the Z? Z2 means for beryllium. What is the Z value? Beryllium Z value is 4, and lithium Z value is 3. Just put the value 4 square, and this one is a 3 square. Okay, so just cut down, it becomes 3, and here 8. 4 square means 16. So it's 6 is to 1, I think. Just check.
Sir, I took the beryllium value as 2 instead of
No,
4.
no, 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 no.
I
Right.
accidentally.
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. If you go through the periodic table.
Yes, sir, I kept the wrong thing. I thought that
Okay.
first of all, I thought that lithium was there, and
No,
lithium
no, no,
was
no,
the
no.
atomic number only.
Okay,
I got wrong.
always remember for atomic number, if you go through the periodic table, atomic number 1 to 30, you have to remember, okay? 1 to 30. Actually, full periodic table, after class 12, you can easily identify what is the atomic number of all the elements except the D block element, because D block element atomic number, remember of atomic number, all the stuff is not required. But other than D block, S block, P block, and 3D element, atomic number configuration you have to remember. Okay. So T1 is to T2, value is basically 6 is to 1. Any doubt regarding this part? Okay. Next, I am going to the frequency. What is frequency? Frequency is basically nothing but 1 by T. Frequency is basically number of revolution per second. Okay, number of revolutions per second. Frequency. What is frequency? Number of revolutions per second. Per second. Okay. Now frequency can I write 1 by t? Okay. Now what is a t? For t we can easily write, just a minute. Screen share is fine. Now look, for t we can easily write what? N cube by j square. Now put the value here. So frequency proportional to z square by n cube. Okay, this is one of the important formula. Another formula for frequency for f1 by f2 equals to, can I write, z1 square z2 square n2 cube n1 cube. Okay, is it clear? Now what are the formulas? If you go through the formulas, what are the formulas? First, Rn, that means radius, proportional to n square by z. Next, Vn, proportional to z by n. Next, time, proportional to n cubed by z square. And f, proportional to z square by n cube. Okay, any doubt regarding this part? This is for radius of Bohr's orbit, velocity of Bohr's orbit, time and frequency. Any doubt? This part is clear?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I am giving another questions regarding this frequency part. Again, you have to calculate ratio of. Okay. Again, I am taking ratio of time. Time you have to find out. Second orbit of hydrogen and third orbit of helium plus. Solve it quickly. Give you 2 minutes time. Completed. Completed. In this case, just take the value n1 value, second orbit means, and what is the z value? Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. N2 value is 3. That means third Bohr orbit means N2 value is 3 and Z2 value is 2. So T proportional to NQ by Z square. Okay. Now we can write T1 by T2 N1Q by N2Q into Z2 square Z1 square. Okay. Now put the value. N1 value. What is the value of N1? 2. N2 value 3. Z2 value 2. Z1 value. So it becomes 32 by 27. Okay. So the ratio is T1 is to T2. 32 is to 27. Any doubt regarding this part? Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now next is in the last for Bohr's orbit, but not the least. Okay. Last but not the least. Next is energy of electron in the Bohr's orbit. For Bohr's orbit case, the fifth one, the energy of electron in the Bohr's orbit. That is one of the very, very important topics. Energy of electron in the nth Bohr orbit. Okay. Energy of electron in this case, can I write total energy equals to what is the value of total energy? Total energy equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. So just write down total energy TE equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy plus kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy value we can write half mv square. That is for kinetic energy. Okay. Now for potential energy, suppose this one is a charge Q1, this one is a charge Q2. If the distance between this Q1 and Q2, I am taking R. So what is potential energy? Potential energy is basically K. Basically potential energy proportional to Q1 by Q2 by R, not R square. R square K is only possible for force of attraction. If you go through the force of attraction, if you go through the second or third class that I will complete it, potential energy and force of attraction. For force of attraction case, proportional to Q1 into Q2 by R square, where Q1 is a charge of one particle and Q2 is the charge of another particle and R is the difference between two charges. In this case, potential energy, this is not a R square, this is a R. Now, if you remove this proportional sign, this value equals to K Q1 Q2 by R. Okay, clear? Now, look here, basically, if you go through the nucleus part, this one is the nucleus, this one is the electron. What is the charge of electron? E. What is the charge of nucleus? Ze already completed. So potential energy, just put down K, Z, E and E by R here negative sign. This negative sign represent the attraction force. Attraction force of two oppositely charged. Because electron is a negatively charged, proton is a nucleus is a positively charged, and positively charged which represent for repulsion. So potential energy belongs to minus kz square by R. This is for potential energy. Okay. Now put the value of total energy and another formula. If you go through another formula, this formula you know mv square by R equals to kz e square by R square. starting when I started the Bohr's orbit, that formula already I derived. So if you remove this R1, so V square becomes basically kz square by r square. Okay, kz square by r square. Mv square equals to kz square by r square. Now if you put the value kz square by r square here, so kinetic energy belongs to half of kz square by r square. Sorry, not r square, r. Kz square by r, because these r and these are basically cut down each other. Okay, yeah, this one is r square. Just a minute. This one is r square. After cutting, it becomes r. So this is the kinetic energy value, and this is the potential energy value. Now, what is the total energy? Total energy equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Now, from here we can find out the total energy. Okay, so total energy, we all know that kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is half kz square by r. Potential energy kz square by r. So total energy, we get total energy value equals to minus half of kz square by r. Any doubt regarding these three calculation? Any doubt? Do you have any doubt regarding this part? This three calculation is totally clear for all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now when you compare this one, and this one, can I write? Can I write this potential energy basically from here? This one is a potential energy. This one is a kinetic energy, and this one is a total energy. So total energy I am taking En. En is considered as a total energy. Okay. So En or total energy is basically minus of kinetic energy. If you compare about these two, only the negative sign involved. Okay. Clear? And which value? This value when multiplied by 2, when this one is multiplied by 2, we get potential energy equals to 2 potential energy. This is a very, very important formula. VVI. Okay, this one is very, very important. Okay, so now we are going to this formula. En or total energy, I am taking half of kz square by r. Now r value, you know, from the Bohr's orbit you can easily find out n square by z square. That derivation I already did last class. I already completed this one. Kz square. Okay, just put this value here. So this formula actually, this one belongs half of kz square by, when you put this one n square h square, and this becomes 4 pi square m kz square. Okay, now look, in this case which part are basically unknown part. Z value changes with different atom. Okay, Z value changes with different atom, these two Z, and n value difference for if the cell number is given. If the cell number changes, n value changes. Others, all the stuff basically h. If you go through the m value, mass of electron, charge of electron, k is a constant, pi value, Planck constant, charge of electron, k is a constant, all the values are same. So en proportional to or just put, if you put all the value, this en value, it belongs 13.6 z square n square electron volt. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? When, how would you get 13.6 after putting this all the value? This all the value, we get this one. Okay, so if the total energy is this one, what is the value of potential energy? Potential energy basically multiplied by 2. 27 by 2 z square n square electron volt. And what is the value of kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is basically the sign change. It belongs to plus of 13.6 z square n square electron volt. Any doubt? This part is clear?
Yes, sir.
Very important formula. For maths only this formula is required. Now if you converted electron volt to joule, what do we know? 1 electron volt equals to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Just put En multiply 13.6 just multiplied with 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 z square by n square. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so 13.6 into 1.6, what is the value? Just go for the calculation. You can easily find out the another formula which is related with energy form, which is related with basically joule. Okay, so what is the value? The value becomes 21.7 or 2.17. If you go through this one, it becomes 21.7 into 10 to the power minus 19 z square by n square. We can easily write when this point comes here 2.17. Just 2.17 into 10 to the power minus 18 z square by n square. This is for joule. This is another important formula. Any doubt? This one is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just write down. Completed? Completed? So just write down for total energy. So total energy of electron in nth Bohr orbit that is basically En total energy, which is minus 13.6 into z square by n square electron volt, or you can write minus 2.17 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule. Is it clear? Any doubt regarding this part? This one is clear? Okay, and this one is required for mathematical purpose. Okay, now I am taking the energy of different cell for hydrogen atom. Okay, I am calculating what is the energy of different cell for hydrogen atom. This one is I am taking this one is the hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, we are calculating energy of different cell. This is the energy level diagram. This is ground state. Ground state means n equals to 0, n equals to 1, n equals to 2, n equals to 3, okay, sorry, n equals to 1, 2, 3, n equals to 4, okay, and then this one is n equals to 5 and up to when n equals to infinite, okay, when n equals to infinite. Now look, in this case, just calculate the energy. How can you find out? Hydrogen atom Z value is always 1. So Z value is fixed. 13.6, put the Z value 1, N value is 1. N value is 1 means we get minus 13.6 electron volt. Okay. Now what is the value of second shell? 13.6, Z value is fixed. This one is changing. It becomes, I think this value is minus 3.4 electron volt. Here E3, energy of third cell, minus 13.6 3 square. Okay, this value we get 1.5 electron volt. Now E4, minus 13.6 1 square by 4 square. Okay, this one we get minus 85 electron volt. E5, minus 13.6 1 square by 5 square, we get minus 0.54 electron volt. Okay, and En value, En means where n equals to infinite, value becomes 0. Okay, now look, if you go through the calculation, what is the difference between E2 and E2, E2 and E1? This gap is basically, how can you calculate energy gap? Del E is basically energy gap between E2 and E1. What is the value of E2? 3.4, minus 3.4 minus of minus 13.6. When you calculate, this value becomes 10.2 electron volt. Again, you can just find out the energy gap between E3 and E2. 1.89 electron volt. This one, what is the value? Just calculate. This one is a 0.85, this is 1.5. 0.85 and 1.5, this value is 0.65 electron volt. So can I say, if the n value increases, the gap between these two, the energy gap between these two basically decreases. This one to this one decreases, this one to this one decreases, again this one to this one decreases. Okay, if the n value increases, the gap between two energy gap decreases. Any doubt regarding this part? This part is clear?
Sir, can you wait 1 minute?
Yes, definitely.
So, sir, is this for hydrogen atom?
Only for hydrogen atom. I am taking only for hydrogen.
Only for hydrogen atom.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now look,
Okay.
this when electron present is n equals to 1 state. This state is called ground state. Now when electron jumps n equals to 1 to n equals to 2, this state is called first excited state. Excited state. Similarly, this one is called second excited state. Excited state I am taking in short ES. Just a minute. Excited state we can write like ES. So can I write nth excited state? If n1 excited state is given, what is the value of n? What is the value of, if the n1 excited state is given, what is the value of n? N value is basically n1 plus 1. That means if third excited state is given, what is the value of n? Third excited state means n value is basically 3 plus 1, that is 4. Okay, look, second excited state. First excited state, what is the n value? N value is 2. How will you get 1 plus 1? This one is for first excited state and this one is the formula. Is becomes 2. Any doubt? This part is clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now from this formula, basically this hydrogen atom, this 3 point I am taking. What is the first point? If the n value increases, energy gap decreases. And look, if the n value increases, total energy basically minus 13.6 to minus 3.4. This total energy, what total energy increases or decreases? Total energy definitely decreases because minus 13 point total energy increases because minus 13.6 is the lower energy minus value. If you consider the minus value, minus 3 point is higher value as compared to minus 13.6. So the if n value increases, energy of electron increases. If the energy of electron increases, can I say if the energy of electron increases, kinetic energy should be decreasing? Okay, so just write down these 2 points. First point is energy of electron increases with increase in the number of cell. Why? Due to negative sign. Second one, kinetic energy equals to 13.6 into z square by n square. So if the n value increases, total energy or En increases, but the kinetic energy decreases. Okay. And third point, the energy gap between two successive level decreases with increasing number of cells. The energy gap between two successive level decreases with increase in number of shell. Okay. And fourth, nth or n1 excited state. If n1 excited state is given, then n value is basically n1 plus 1. Any doubt regarding this part? Up to this part is clear. Then energy of electron system is clear. Okay. Do you have any doubt regarding this part? Okay. Please join for next meeting. Next meeting ID password same. Next meeting I will do 3 maths regarding this part. Okay. Please join. I am ending this meeting.